There's something that, if you truly see it today, you won't be able to unsee. And it's not a technique. It's not advice. It's a different way of understanding what happens to you when you start to like someone. Because you can be intelligent, sensitive, even self-aware, and still end up in the same place, overthinking, waiting, interpreting, and slowly losing yourself. So the real question isn't why this keeps happening. The real question is, what are you not seeing yet? Let me start with something real. Clara had a very specific story. Her father left when she was young, and without realizing it, she grew up with a quiet belief: if I'm good enough, they won't leave. So when she met someone, she didn't choose from clarity. She chose from care. She adapted, she gave, she waited, and when the other person pulled away, she gave more. Not because she was weak, but because her system was trying to avoid something very old: abandonment. Carmen was different. She didn't have such an obvious story, but she had a pattern. She gave a lot, very quickly. She listened, she supported, she understood, and she kept ending up with men who at first seemed amazing, but later became unclear, inconsistent, even manipulative. And Carmen stayed, trying to fix it, thinking, if I do it better, this will work. Two different stories, same result: confusion. And this is important. Neither of them was choosing badly. They were responding to how their system worked, and that is what I want you to start seeing today. Let's begin with something fundamental: the difference between love and emotional activation. Because very often, what you feel isn't love. It's activation, it's intensity, it's thinking about someone all the time, it's the urge to resolve something. And that feels powerful. But it's not the same as connection. Healthy love doesn't rush you, it regulates you. It doesn't leave you in constant doubt, it gives you clarity. So why does intensity feel so addictive? Because your nervous system reads uncertainty as important. When someone is ambiguous, inconsistent, or unclear, your attention locks in. And that activation feels like, this matters. That's where the attachment begins. And this is what happens next. When someone isn't clear, you stop observing reality, and you start filling the gaps. You interpret, you justify, you wait, and in that process you disconnect from something essential: your relational discernment. And that's why letting go feels so hard, because you're not just letting go of a person, you're letting go of what it could have been. Clara and Carmen reached that point, tired, confused, questioning themselves for years, feeling like love was something unpredictable, like a butterfly that lands for a moment, and the second you try to get closer, it flies away. Maybe that feels familiar, so let me ask you something. How much time have you already lost like this? Do you believe love works like trial and error? Like it depends on luck, on doing everything right, and on someone at some point deciding to choose you. And maybe the real question isn't whether love will come, but from where you are trying to reach it. And this is where something different begins. This is what Clara and Carmen did. They entered the internal ground protocol. This is not theory. It's a 24/7 conversational tool designed for the exact moment when you are inside the confusion, not when things are clear, not when everything makes sense, but when you're doubting, overthinking, waiting. That moment. Here's how it works. The first time, you simply speak to it. You share your situation, how you are, what you're going through. And from there, it starts guiding you, not by telling you what to do, but by helping you see clearly, organize what you feel, distinguish reality from interpretation. And most importantly, it brings you back to yourself. And this isn't something you use once. You have it always. In any situation, when you feel triggered, when you doubt, when you don't know what to do, it adapts to you, your way of thinking, your emotional patterns, your pace. It's not generic. It becomes tailored to you and your relational world. The protocol is structured in 4 key areas: finding the right partner without attaching too early, understanding what you feel, love versus anxiety, real-time regulation, improving your current relationship, communication, boundaries, stability, breaking patterns, overgiving, idealization, unavailable partners. So what changed for Claire and Steph? Clara stopped adapting to be chosen. For the first time, she started asking, is this right for me? And something shifted. She no longer needed to give more to keep someone. She started choosing differently. Carmen stopped holding relationships that drained her. She started seeing the signs earlier. Ambiguity no longer felt interesting. It felt clear, and she began to step back sooner. Without drama, without guilt, neither of them became cold, they became clear. And that changes everything, because when you start seeing this, you stop justifying, you stop waiting, you stop doubting as much, and you begin to choose differently. And there are a few key questions this masterclass will also answer for you. Why is it so hard to let go, even when you know it's not right? Because you're not letting go of a person, but of a possibility. But once you see what is actually happening, not what could happen, letting go becomes clarity, not loss. How do I know if what I feel is real or just anxiety? Not by intensity, but by quality. Anxiety speeds you up and confuses you. Healthy love stabilizes and becomes clearer over time. How do I stop repeating the same patterns? Not by changing people, but by changing your point of choice. When your discernment sharpens, you see earlier and you choose differently. How do I build something truly stable? Not by forcing, chasing, or adapting, but by choosing from a grounded place where you can see coherence, direction, and emotional availability. And this is where everything changes. There comes a point where confusion is no longer an option. Not because everything is perfect, but because you no longer abandon yourself inside the process. You don't need to feel less. You need to see more clearly. And when you see clearly, you choose differently. And when you choose differently, your entire relational life changes. If you feel you're at a point where you no longer want to feel confused in love, you can access the internal ground protocol in the description.